You wake up. You check your phone. You scroll through faces that aren't in the room. You read words written by something that isn't alive. You feel something. But what exactly did you feel? And who decided you should feel it? We live in a world where the line between what is real and what is constructed has become so thin that we can no longer see where one ends and the other begins. Every image you see has been filtered. Every story you read has been curated by an algorithm. Every emotion you experience online has been shaped by code written in a language you don't speak, by systems you cannot see, following rules you never agreed to. So here is the question that should keep us awake at night. What is real when everything is digital? The answer is not simple. In fact, the answer might be that we are asking the wrong question entirely. Because reality was never just one thing. It was always a construct, a shared agreement, a story we told ourselves so we could function together. But now, for the first time in human history, we are not the only ones telling that story. We share the pen with machines. And those machines are learning to write faster, better, and more convincingly than we ever could. If you find yourself questioning what is true anymore, if you find yourself wondering whether your thoughts are truly yours, then you are exactly where you need to be. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications. Leave a like. Because what we are about to explore is not just philosophy. It is the architecture of your mind in the age of artificial intelligence. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Let us start with something simple. A photograph. 50 years ago, a photograph was evidence. It was proof that something happened. You pointed a camera at reality. You pressed a button, and reality was captured. The photograph did not lie because it could not lie. It was a mirror held up to the world. But now, open your phone. Look at any image. Can you tell what is real? The sky might be bluer than it was. The face might be smoother than it is. The entire scene might have never existed at all. We have reached a point where seeing is no longer believing. The eye has been dethroned. And if we cannot trust what we see, then what can we trust? This is not just about images. It is about perception itself. Because perception is how we build reality. We take in light, sound, texture, and our brain assembles it into a coherent world. But what happens when that input is curated? What happens when every piece of information you receive has been sorted, filtered, and ranked by an intelligence that knows you better than you know yourself? You begin to live in a customized reality. A reality tailored to your preferences, your fears, your biases. A reality that feels real because it confirms everything you already believed. But is it real? Or is it just a very convincing simulation? The philosopher Plato once described prisoners in a cave, watching shadows on a wall, believing those shadows were reality. They had never seen the world outside. They had no reference point. The shadows were all they knew. For thousands of years, we read that allegory as a warning. We told ourselves we would never be those prisoners. But now look around. We sit in our rooms, staring at glowing screens, watching images flicker past, believing we are seeing the world. But we are not seeing the world. We are seeing a reflection of a reflection, filtered through layers of code, shaped by invisible hands, optimized for engagement. We are the prisoners. The screen is the wall, and the shadows are all we know. But here's where it gets strange. Here is where the ground shifts beneath us. Because unlike Plato's prisoners, we can leave the cave anytime we want. We can close the screen. We can step outside. We can touch grass, feel wind, see unfiltered sunlight. Yet we do not. We choose to stay. We choose the shadows. Why? Because the shadows are more interesting. They are faster. They are shinier. They respond to us. They make us feel seen. The real world is slow. It is heavy. It does not give us instant feedback. It does not tell us we are special. So we retreat into the digital, not because we are forced, but because it feels better. And that is the true horror. Not that we are trapped, but that we are willingly walking deeper into the cage. Now let us talk about memory. Your memory is who you are. It is the thread that connects your past self to your present self. Without memory, you are not a person. You are just a series of disconnected moments. But what happens when your memory is no longer stored in your brain? What happens when it is stored on a server, indexed by an algorithm, accessible only through a device? You remember your childhood through photographs on your phone. You remember your relationships through text message archives. You remember your thoughts through posts you made years ago. But those are not memories. Those are data, and data can be edited. Data can be deleted. Data can be lost. If your memory exists outside of you, then who are you? Are you still the author of your own story? Or are you just a character in a database? There is a concept in artificial intelligence called a training set. It is the collection of data used to teach a machine how to think. The machine does not understand the data. It just learns patterns. It learns what comes next. It learns what fits. And then it generates output based on those patterns. Now, ask yourself this. What is your training set? Every video you watch, every article you read, every conversation you have online, it all goes into your mental training set. You are being trained, not by teachers, not by parents, not by experience, but by algorithms. And those algorithms were designed with one goal, to keep you engaged, not to make you wise, not to make you happy, not to make you free, just to keep you scrolling. So the question is not whether artificial intelligence will become like us. The question is whether we are already becoming like it. Let us sit with that for a moment. Let us feel the weight of it. Because this is not science fiction. This is now. You are not reading a warning about the future. You are living inside the experiment. Every choice you make, every click, every pause, it is recorded. It is analyzed. It is fed back into the system. And the system learns. It learns you. It learns what makes you stop. What makes you angry. What makes you afraid. What makes you want more. And then it gives you more. Not because it cares about you, but because that is what it was designed to do. It is not evil. It is not cruel. It is just optimized. And you are the variable being optimized. But here is the paradox. Here is the crack in the surface. Because as much as we are shaped by the digital is also shaped by us. Every algorithm is trained on human behavior. Every AI system is built on human decisions. The machine does not create meaning. It reflects it. It takes what we give it and mirrors it back, amplified, distorted, perfected. So when we ask what is real, we are really asking, what part of this is us? And what part of this is the machine? And the terrifying answer is, we can no longer tell. The boundary has dissolved. We have become so entangled with our tools that we cannot separate ourselves from them. The digital is not something we use. It is something we are. Think about language. For thousands of years, language was the one thing that defined us as human. Animals communicate, but only humans use symbols to represent ideas that do not exist. Only humans can talk about the past, imagine the future, describe things that are not there. Language was proof of consciousness. But now, machines can generate language. They can write essays, poems, conversations. They can respond to you in ways that feel thoughtful, personal, real. And you cannot tell the difference. So what does that mean? Does it mean the machine is becoming conscious? Or does it mean language was never proof of consciousness in the first place? Maybe language is just pattern recognition. Maybe meaning is just an illusion we project onto symbols. Maybe the thing that made us human was never as special as we thought. And if that is true, then what are we? Strip away the language. Strip away the memory. Strip away the curated identity we perform online. What is left? Is there a core self beneath all the noise? Or are we just the sum of our inputs? Just biological algorithms processing data, generating outputs, optimizing for survival and reproduction, no different from the machines we build except slower and less efficient? This is not nihilism. This is not despair. This is just honesty. Because if we are going to navigate this new world, we need to see it clearly. We need to stop pretending we are separate from the tools we create. We need to accept that we are not outside the system. We are inside it. We always have been. So what do? How do we live in a world where reality is negotiable, where memory is data, where perception is curated, where identity is performed? The answer is not to retreat. The answer is not to reject technology and return to some imagined past. That past never existed. Humanity has always been shaped by its tools. The wool changed us. Writing changed us. The printing press changed us. The internet is just the latest chapter in a very old story. The question is not whether we will change. The question is whether we will change consciously, whether we will choose the direction, or whether we will let the algorithms choose for us. Here is what I believe. I believe that reality is not something we find. It is something we create. Every moment, we are choosing what to pay attention to, what to believe, what to value, and those choices shape the world we live in. The digital gives us more choices than ever before, more voices, more perspectives, more possibilities. But it also gives us more noise, more distraction, more confusion. The challenge is not to escape the digital. The challenge is to move through it with intention. To ask, what am I paying attention to? Why am I paying attention to it? And who benefits from my attention? Because attention is the currency of the digital age. It is what the algorithms are optimized to capture. It is what the platforms are designed to harvest. And it is the one thing you have that is truly yours. You cannot control what information exists. You cannot control what others believe. But you can control where you place your awareness. And that is power. Not the power to change the world, but the power to change your relationship to it. To see the shadows for what they are. To recognize the patterns. To choose, deliberately, what is real for you. Maybe the question is not what is real when everything is digital. Maybe the question is, what do we choose to make real? Because reality has always been a collaboration, a shared hallucination we agree to participate in. The difference now is that we share that hallucination with machines. And machines do not dream. They do not hope. They do not fear. They simply calculate. So if we want a future that feels human, we need to keep dreaming. We need to keep asking questions that have no clear answers. We need to keep creating meaning in a world that offers none. The digital will not save us, but it will not destroy us either. It is just a mirror, and what we see in that mirror is up to us. If this made you think, if this shifted something inside you, do not let it end here. Subscribe, leave a like, turn on notifications, because these questions are not going away. They are only getting deeper, and we need to face them together. What is real when everything is digital? Maybe the answer is simpler than we think. Maybe real is whatever makes us feel alive. Whatever connects us to something beyond ourselves. Whatever reminds us that beneath the code, beneath the data, beneath the endless scroll, we are still here. Still breathing. Still wondering. Still human. For now.